All right, y'all, we're back out. The Nerfs have obviously got the Zeus pads welded in, and we just popped the holes in here and located everything. I've done nothing but complain about this set of body work, and it's got to be part of it is all of it's not trimmed yet. This all needs to be trimmed out so it doesn't sit. This part here on both sides hits this surface before it lines up. So we know we got work to do here anyway, but it's really an irritating setup. I mean, let me just for example, we have to have clearance so the tires won't rub in here, right? And they're as far forward as they're going to go on the Nerf bars without making the wheel opening too close at the rear, which we can move around a little bit yet. You see, you can, because there's no structure to it yet. I mean, this was on the carbon fiber cart, there was a Zeus pad, or there was a mount here off the bumper on this portion here. And we're gonna add some tail to this thing because we're tucking radiators in with fan-cooled radiators. It's all part of the package. So some of this can move around a little bit. You see, I got tape pulling the side pod, the whole pod over, to make sure it stays flat and square. Trying to square up what, sorry about the camera, the front side of these two pads, right? Making sure it's touching or is as straight and flat as it can be. But of course, once we get the nose up in here, it's a completely different story. Let me sit you down. Oh, by the way, we used a light inside the side pod. You can do that with just gel coat. You can see right through it, right? And that's how we located the Zeus pads. We use our little fiberglass burr on the air tool, and you can go straight in. You just go straight into the fiberglass with it. It starts opening up, and once you determine where you are, right, as you're going through, go a little bit at a time, and then kind of center it as you're getting further through and making the hole bigger. The outside diameter of this bad boy here, once it pops all the way through, is absolutely perfect for setting these Zeus fasteners. So we use the light in the back, step by step, bing bang boom. We get them in place. Let me sit you down, and we'll ooh, you're balancing there. See what we got going on here with this nose is these upright deals. They literally connect the top surface of the nose to the floor tray portion of the nose, so the floor tray doesn't buckle and bow. As you can see, the way these things are mounted, it's just got this little bracket here. You got these little pieces of flat material with a bolt welded on the back. They go in the side of the bumper here, right? And they actually turn so you can add or subtract pitch to the nose. We've already had to take these off because John's bumper here doesn't. I can say John because you won't. You'll know who this belongs to before long anyway. And I'll show you. I'll just slide this thing in place. See what we got going on here. This thing doesn't line up, which has been the MO of all of this crap bodywork from the get-go. And see, it's just because it's got a rolled edge doesn't mean that's the end of the part. I mean, you see it's tight here and gapped here. We're gonna have to cut this thing and fit it up in here because right now it's way too out front. It's just tucked underneath the front end. We're barely to the, oh, there we are. We're to the marks that we put in here. But these plates, you see this, it needs to go over some more, and it can't because the nose, or the bumper, is right on that thing. Now, this sucker was a real pain in the rear to get on here with these things still mounted. Now, granted, they're just 1/8 inch, but it makes it another 1/4 inch wider. So you see it doesn't sit straight and flat. This side is close width-wise. This side, not even close. What we can do, first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove these upright pieces in here so we can move the nose side to side wherever we need to go. As you can see, it's tapered. So as we start cutting length off, right, we'll be able to push the nose back, but we're also going to be getting narrower, folks, right? So all this hocus pocus trade-off, when you make true blanks, like an Enduro nose or Enduro side panels, they're two-dimensional blanks, right? Nose, three-dimensional. Well, mine is really two-dimensional because it's the top surface and the sides. The bottom is the floor tray. It doesn't have a bottom in it. So my stuff is a lot easier to mount. You fit it, and then you cut the wheel openings where they are. This is completely ass backwards. Now, I know Pat, I don't know him well, Pat Yokashani, he's a dentist. He's not a model maker. And although anybody can do it, this thing must have been modeled for a different cart altogether, a different chassis altogether, because it doesn't fit very well. It doesn't fit this thing for crap. And this is going to give us a ton more work to do. Just a ton. And our work was supposed to be at the back of the car. This was supposed to drop right on with a little fudging and fitting. Man, I've spent 4 to 5 weeks putting it on, taking it off, putting it on, taking it off, putting it on, taking it off, and fighting with this thing. Because let's be honest, folks, once you start popping holes in it, you know, it is what it is, right? So at some point here, within the next 2 weeks, we're just going to have to say, the hell with it, man. It's got to go together, or we aren't going to get this car done in time. And so you can see I'm frustrated. I'm starting to feel the pressure. We have a deadline, and we're not going to make it if we try to make this stuff drop into place and talk to one another the way I guess the way it was designed. It's not beyond us, but this is really, it's frustrating. It really, really is frustrating. We're going to cut a whole bunch of the top portion of the pot. First thing we're going to do is take these vertical mounts off so we can go right, left. We've got to go back another 3-4 inches yet. This here needs to be way back here. John's little feet don't stick up way up in the air. We need to get this thing back, because if it's off this far, it's going to make a ton of downforce. So we need to move it back. And then again, as I told you, as we move it back, we start messing with other dimensions, and that's going to have an issue with fitting that thing up in here if all these parameters, or I guess you call them, or these tapered angles start changing from the way it was molded to go together. To be honest, the shit never fit together anyway, so yeah, I'm frustrated. It's a frustrating day, but we're going to take a deep breath. We'll say a little prayer, and then we'll move on. I just wanted to show you, this is not all sex and candy. This stuff doesn't just drop right on the way you would expect it to. So we're going to get moving. We just wanted to show you that, man, this is a real pain in the ass trying to get this stuff. And we had to do it this way. We couldn't mount the nose first and then fit the pods, because if this was a blank and we could just cut it out, it'd be a different story. But pray for me, I need it. Godspeed, God bless. We'll bring you some more. Episode number 9 in the can. Hang in there, y'all. It'll get better.